What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nemo's podcast. My name is Ammar Nemo. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you get a second, please hit like, subscribe, and comment below. It really means a lot to me. Okay, guys, I just got back for the second time watching Superman 2025. Now, did I like it? Did I not like it? Let's find out.
What you're looking at is the most powerful being on planet Earth.
I will not accept that.
Gotta get back to the fray.
First off, I like the movie a lot, but I think Man of Steel is a better film overall. That one felt epic, grounded, and it was such a gritty, dark tone. Man, I love those movies. This new Superman, it's different. It's a straight up comic book movie with some serious animated series vibes mixed in.
You spoiled my fun!
Little boys shouldn't play with sharp objects.
Now let's talk about Superman. David Corenswet did a great job. He literally looks like Henry Cavill's little brother. Physically, he's perfect for the role. What stood out to me is his physical comedy. I really liked when Clark Kent was at the Daily Planet and him and Jimmy Olsen are messing with each other, I think it's that, that Christopher Reeve charm that he has. Maybe that Juilliard training kicked in. I know the guy likes jazz and tap dancing and stuff, which is awesome. I wish I went to that school. He's charismatic, he's approachable, and fits the brighter version of Superman perfectly.
It began sort of as a vague idea that was planted in my head and then in the head of some of the people that I work with, where people found that it was a sort of a shortcut when describing me to somebody who didn't know me yet. I was told later that a good sort of shorthand was, if they ever make a new Superman movie, he'd be a good fit for it.
You look like Superman, and you...
Occasionally I would be told, as you are by strangers on the street, or I guess in this case it was a classmate a roommate of mine when I was at school, that I had some Superman energy in some way, or that I was a kind of a Superman figure. In that case, it was because I had run out of my room in my underwear to turn off a smoke alarm.
Cape.
Crisis. No cape. I think she might have just projected the cape on me in her mind. But the underwear helped. When asked about it years ago, my response was incredulity. It was, who could ever say that they hope to play Superman one day? What a crazy thing.
I really liked him as Superman and Clark Kent. People are complaining like, oh man, there's no Clark Kent scenes. No, dude, there actually was. He was at the Daily Planet, and then when he went to, spoiler, Lois Lane's house, that scene was 12 minutes. That means 12 scenes, all right? A minute a scene, guys. Just saying. Okay, let's talk about the suit. It's okay. Not better than Cavill's. Let's be real.
You've grown stronger here than I ever could have imagined. The only way to know how strong is to keep testing your limits.
I'm not a trunks guy. I think James Gunn kind of regrets putting the trunks on. He did say that David actually liked them, and I don't even think David liked them. He just didn't want to make, James Gunn upset. That's my opinion. But I do like the collar and the throwback style logo. It's different, more classic comic book. In some scenes, the suit looked great. In others, it looked kind of loose and underwhelming. Personally, I feel the suit should look like it's not from this planet, and that's why Henry Cavill's version hit so hard. And yeah, I've seen Henry's suit in person, and I was like, wow, like it really did amaze me how the structure of that suit was made. It felt like a Nerf ball, you know what I mean? Like, it was weird. Now let's talk about Lex Luthor. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Man, what an actor. Like, this dude is amazing, and he's about to go to another level. I heard the guy got paid $2 million for the movie, and Superman and Lois got paid like $700,000. You know why? Because Nicholas Hoult has been putting in the work since he was a kid. I mean, this guy has had his SAG card since he was like 5 years old, okay? And that's why he got paid the $2 million payday. And he was actually almost Superman. He tested for Superman.
No, I auditioned for Superman, and I played him very evilly. I was like, here's a... No, it was kind of a funny thing. I was reading the script for the first time before the audition, and I got this like inkling, this intuition that I was like, I think you might be a good Lex reading those scenes, but I kind of buried that in my subconscious and didn't think about it. I met David, who ended up being cast as Superman, and I met him and I was like, this guy's iconic. He embodies everything this character should be.
And I really enjoyed what he did in this movie. He was a huge step up from Jesse Eisenberg. I just wish they gave him more to do. The stuff with Ultraman, basically a clone of Superman, not quite Bizarro, but close. It was wild. Lex literally playing PlayStation with his crew, telling Ultraman how to beat the shit out of Superman. It was hilarious and ridiculous in a comic book way. I mean, it was so funny. He's like, A1, A1, which is like a straight punch. 34B, 34B. It's like thrown by the cape or something like that. I'm like, oh my God. And my brother's like, yo, dude, that's Tom Cruise's twin. And after that, I could not unsee it, I swear. Now let's talk about Lois Lane in the supporting cast. Rachel Brosnahan crushed it as Lois.
Lois Lane is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who is a star reporter at the Daily Planet. I love that she's relentless in her life. She's relentless about her pursuit of the truth. She's relentless about the things that she cares about. She's passionate. I was always aware of Lois Lane. I grew up on the Chris Reeve Superman with Margot Kidder, and I just thought she was amazing and so smart and funny and sharp. And it still kind of feels like a dream. I can't believe we're here embodying these iconic characters. And the response from the outside has been so amazing. It's feels like it's multiplied the excitement just getting to talk to people on the outside about what these characters mean to them.
She had that sharp, determined energy. I do wish we got to see her do more actual journalism. And I love that she didn't need help from anybody. Like in the middle of the movie, Superman is gone. He gets arrested. Okay, I'm not going to spoil everything, but he's in you know what, screw it. He's in a pocket universe, and she's trying to find him. So she goes to the Justice Gang, which is Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Hawk Girl. And they really didn't care what she had to say. And she's like, you know what? I don't need you guys. I'm going to go find him myself. Peace. I love that about her. She had that, that Sarah Connor energy, right? But of course, Mr. Terrific, who killed it, by the way, he's like, yo, I got you. Let's take my flying saucer. I'm like, all right, this is cool. Now let's talk about the Justice Gang. Mr. Terrific was cool.
It's probably the best set that I've ever been on. And it's because the magic is James. He not only wrote the material, he knows it intimately, and he's directing this film, but he also does create an environment where there's just total freedom. And freedom can be scary because if you have all that freedom and you don't have anything to access, then you feel like a failure. But you have James, who together helps you find new things that you couldn't anticipate. He's a magician.
Nathan Fillion, he was hilarious as Guy Gardner. I mean, this guy was such a D-bag, but funny in every way.
What really jumps off the page for me is that we're already here. We're already in a world that knows about Superman. It's not our world, which is something we've been sold many times, which is what would happen if Superman were real and came to our world. But this is more so, what if we existed in his world, that comic book world where interdimensional beings are a fact of life. Everybody gets it. There's aliens. We're not the only ones around here. Bank robbers are themed, like the Animal Gang, and they all wear different, like that's the kind of comic book stuff. Giant robots. This is the stuff I was sold when I was reading comic books as a kid. And this is the world that James is letting us live in for a moment, which I think is very fresh and very different.
Hawk Girl, she was all right. I mean, she really didn't have much to do, I do like the actress. I remember her from Transformers 5. She's a pretty good actress, but she really didn't do anything in the movie.
Kendra's got some issues, so she sort of leads with anger. I think at all times she sort of leads with this sort of war cry mentality. She lets out a war cry every time she's about to strike. I mean, she's not even scared to be not even scared enough to be stealthy. She just yells and she's like, I'm here and I'm everywhere because I can fly really fast and I have a mace that's completely unforgiving. Even if I accidentally swing it your way, you're done.
Now let's talk about Perry White. Perry White was great in this movie. I love the actor that portrayed him. But again, he also didn't have much to do. I mean, he was just there with, a cigar that wasn't lit. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see him in the future movies.
Perry White is the editor-in-chief. And actually, for a newspaper man, it's a little scary because, newspapers are kind of going out in this digital world, and especially the world of the movie. So it's to be placed in the middle of the action the way it is, it breathes new life into to Perry White and to the Daily Planet. And we meet him there on the floor in the newsroom with Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen and this new reporter, Clark Kent.
Jimmy Olsen as a ladies' man, that really cracked me up. I really enjoyed that. Now, one thing that I didn't like is how they portrayed Superman's Kryptonian parents. That message saying that he was sent to Earth to take over the world, nah, that really felt off. I'm hoping it turns out to be fake or gets reconnected in the future films. This ain't Superman's origin, all right? I didn't like it. I don't give a crap what is said in one of the comics out of the thousands that it's become. I go by the movies, all right? Like, Superman was sent to Earth to help the human race. Plain and simple, okay? Now let's talk about the guy behind it all, James Gunn. I love this director. I think he's one of the coolest directors of the last 15 years. He's got such a unique style, and his music choices always on point. You can tell the guy genuinely loves comic books and comic book movies. He's a nerd, just like us. Hopefully next time you can see my audition, James. I'm just saying, brother. But I really do like his movies.
I was very afraid about finding the right Superman, and luckily I saw David reading on the first day, and I was like, holy God, that's amazing. And I think that, you see him in that scene in the movie and you realize this guy's just a fantastic actor, and he also just happens to look and act and sound a lot like Superman.
To have a director who is so known for spectacle and for heart as well, but I think he has a great simplicity to the heart in his films. To realize that he also is interested in incredibly complex dialogue. There was nothing that was off the table. There was nothing that was not of interest to him.
I am a Snyder fan, okay? I love those dark, gritty movies. And I also love James Gunn's movies and his style. So all the crazy Snyderverse guys out there that are talking a bunch of shit, dude, relax. At the end of the day, they're just movies, all right?
You have a dog?
Now let's talk about Krypto, Superman's dog. There's a scene at the beginning of the movie with him, and when I saw it in the trailer, I actually thought it would show up halfway through the film after, Superman had a big battle, and then, he needed to recuperate, get his energy back with the sun and everything. But nah, it's literally in the beginning of the movie. Krypto is basically a bad dog, but he's hilarious. There's a moment when Superman calls him out to help take him to the Fortress of Solitude, and I swear, I thought Krypto was trying to heal him or something. It looked like Superman's back was broken and his legs were shattered, but nah. Krypto just starts beating the shit out of Superman. I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? It was hilarious.
Stop!
Side note, I actually auditioned for this movie. One of my agents told me to upload the tape to our usual actor platform, but the casting team originally sent me a Dropbox link, which threw me off. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I call these Hollywood auditions. You get an invite and then you upload it and send it off. And they're like, oh, my agent's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm sure they got it. But my heart tells me they never saw it. And I wish they did, as long as I get a fair shot, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, you shoot the audition and you try not to think about it. You just let it go. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But big props to the guy that got it. He played the character Ali, and I think he did a great job. They picked a good actor. And he had scenes with Superman in the beginning, and then he had scenes with Superman and Lex in the middle. I mean, like, come on, you can't beat that. Like, dude, you did an amazing job, whoever you are out there. Hopefully, I'll get a shot in the sequel. We'll see. My final thoughts, this movie isn't trying to be The Dark Knight or Man of Steel, and that's okay. It's not aiming for that gritty realism, epic, mythic building. This is a fun, colorful, comic book, come to life type of movie. It's made for comic book fans by someone who clearly is one. If you grew up on the animated shows, reading the Superman comics, or just love seeing DC characters done with heart, humor, and a little bit of chaos, you'll probably enjoy this ride. It's not perfect. Some scenes were a little off. Some characters could have had more depth. But honestly, I had a great time. It's a new tone for Superman. Lighter, goofier, but still heroic. David Corenswet is a worthy successor, and I'm curious to see where this new DC universe goes from here. And real quick, I just want to mention, I was actually in a comic book movie. I was in Batman v Superman. I didn't have agents at the time when I moved back from Florida, but I did get upgraded to be in that movie, which was pretty cool. I had a few different scenes. I had a couple lines that got chopped up, but hey, it is what it is, right? But it was fun, Okay, guys, I'm going to rate this movie. I'm going to rate this movie as a 7.1 out of 10. Again, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but let me know in the comment section, all right? Before I get off, I just want to say that Man of Steel is a masterpiece of a film, all right? And Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition also is a masterpiece. The one in the theater that they had was totally garbage, all right? I'm just saying. It's because the studio couldn't make enough money if they showed a 3-hour movie. And I understand that. It's called show business for a reason. But my favorite part, I gotta say, when Henry Cavill tackled Zod and he's hitting him with his left hand, he's like, "Do you think you could frighten my mother?"
Where has he hidden it?
I don't know.
Where is the codex?
You think you can frighten my mother?
I mean, dude, that was some straight nerd shit right there. I loved it. And for years, I thought he said, "Do you think you can threaten my mother?" Yeah, it wasn't that. This is why I watch movies with subtitles. Any actors out there, always watch films or TV shows with the subtitles just to see how the actors deliver their lines. It definitely helps, I promise. All right? Take care, guys. Peace.